If you see a guy looking slightly unwell and then he tries to get up out of his seat and collapses on the ground in the aisle next to you on the airplane, is it normal to not yell out for help or exclaim or make a bunch of ruckus to like raise attention? Is our society so used to seeing weird things now that we just sit in silence and wait for someone else to handle it? Sorry, I sound like confused, but I am confused because today my dad collapsed on a plane 2 rows behind my mother. They were separated because the plane was full and they couldn't sit together. And dad was trying to get up to use the restroom, dizzy and disoriented, to the point where he says that the people next to him were staring at him. They knew something was not right, but they didn't know what it was, and they were staring at him. That's the last thing he remembers. He ended up collapsing in the aisle next to his seat with a loud thud. Miraculously, there was a fire chief on board from Lewiston who got rerouted through Spokane. Dad didn't have a pulse and wasn't breathing when he approached him. He had to actually administer a chest compression. But through all of this, by the way, through all of this, my mom had no idea, and she was 2 rows in front of him, but nobody has shouted. There's a guy on the ground. If somebody said something like that, everybody would turn to look. Nobody made any noise, so nobody turned to look. And my dad was there on the ground in medical distress, unconscious, and my mom had no idea. Finally, after the man administered a chest compression, my dad woke up and he told them his wife's name and they called for her and she was like, "Oh my gosh, like you're on the ground. What's going on?" And as of this moment, we have no idea what it was because all of his labs came back clear, EKGs, x-rays and heart stuff and whatever. They said something like it could be a TIA, but I don't even know what a TIA is. Sounds like it was something serious. He had no pulse and wasn't breathing. Like if that fire chief hadn't been there, like he might not be here because nobody else did anything. Do we expect more from passerbys, or is it like people think I'm not qualified, so I'm just not going to do anything?